What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Miles TV. I have learned some things in the past 24, 48 hours that there is another episode of Power Word Fail that I have not watched. It was an audio only thing. It was very much an epilogue wrap up type talk thing. First and foremost, I want to say show 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I scored the last episode 9 out of 10 because there was like a lot of things being left unanswered, and I thought there was going to be a campaign 2. So I was like, I can't believe they're leaving this like this, leaving this open, and I knew it was the last episode, or I thought I knew it was the last episode, so I was like, they left too many questions unanswered for this show to come on like 4 or 5 months ago, and so I was like, 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. They came back with the epilogue, wrapped up a lot of things. I'm definitely going to ask now, is Power Word Fail over? Is it over? Because I had all these theories on how it was going to end, or how campaign 2 was going to come around, or who was going to be in campaign 2 and what was campaign 2 going to be about. But man, I think, is it over? Andy, is it over? I think Ian, is it over? But I'm gonna hop into Discord and talk to him now that I finished everything. And but yeah, so they did a big wrap up. It's more like a fire talk, chat side. It wasn't like a lot of role play. They were just kind of like, what would your character have done, and this is what the DM had planned. And it was a good like, a lot of questions have been answered type moment. So definitely go watch it. But here are some of like the big ones that I pointed out, or I had questions about, and they answered. This is technically episode 64. It's an audio only episode. Can't find it on YouTube anywhere. Almost made a Spotify account to listen to this, but then I found another site, and Spotify, whatever. Anyway, so we start off with Ambrose. He wanted to have peace in his kingdom type thing. The 3 kings ideas that they placed there was actually a really good idea. They were making the kingdom really stable. Pharaoh shows up at one point and he helps everybody. There's a whole bunch of talking on there. Ambrose finds out that his father is part of the Senate in Artemal. Ambrose, and I'm kind of, it's like, I was hoping for a campaign 2. And who says there might be a campaign 2? I don't know. But Ambrose, makes Mirage Warforged golem body type situation going on, and he mass produces that. Does he copy Mirage's mind, or does he just makes copies of the golem? I don't know, but whatever. Pharaoh shares books with Ambrose about the Dark Matron. Ambrose puts a lot of time, and he finds his family. We don't really know if he finds his family, but it's just suggested that he finds his family. Adalia and Ferric live very happily ever after. Adalia goes and checks on Northwatch a lot. Ferric ends up becoming a leader in the Kiln Society. Adalia checks on Maple. Dapple the Maple. Atreides and Pickles go off with Ferric. They clear out this island that Pharaoh wants to stay on and raise the dragons. Pickles accepts her new life as like, I got Eric the Terrible in my head. I got this monster sword. I'm helping these dragons. I'm with the Atreides. She just accepts that this is her life, and she died. And it really took me a moment to be like, this isn't Pickles anymore. She died, and now she's a new being. I never really grasped that. And I feel like they are like hitting it home right now. Like, hey, Pickles died. I think they said that they're a new race type thing. Anyway, at some point, Atreides, Pickles, and Pharaoh set out to find the Crystal Crown. They find it. Atreides is offered godhood, but I think he had to leave the mortal plane and kind of be like an omnipresent god, and he didn't want to do that because he bonded with Pickles and Pharaoh and the dragons. So he was gonna seek out more of a demigod type situation, which was surprising. I think Cody was like, I'm surprised by that too. The trailers is talk nothing but being a god and saying like zippy one-liners about like how he's gonna be a god and all that stuff, blah blah blah. So it was real surprising that he went that route. At some point, Pickles and Atreides goes after Tarsenian. It was very cloudy if Pickles wanted to kill him or if it was like she wanted to secretly like torture him or hook up with him. Who knows? Pickles has layers. She's like an onion. Ogres have layers, but she's a goblin. Anyway, it's very like. It makes me think Power Words fails over because it's like, especially when like shows do these question and answers, it's like, this is definitely room for campaign 2. And then it was like Adalia was scrying on them. So she was like, Adalia would scry on them and know when they would go to check, kill Tarsenian. So everybody else would go too because everybody has a revenge story there. I just wonder what the talk would be like with Adalia when she fails her scrying and people know that she's scrying on you. Like, Adalia, we've talked about this 28 times. Please stop. And then they started asking Cody some questions about like what was going on and everything. Scamandius was definitely supposed to be like one of those like fights that's just like, this guy. I mean, I knew something was up with him. I thought he was a joke relief character, just kind of like one of those guys who just pop up. And I think they put it very well. It's like, after Tarsenian, they didn't trust anybody. Ambrose barely trusted anybody. And after Tarsenian, they didn't trust anybody. So Scamandius was like a good idea for the DM. It's like, I'm going to have this character show up and he's going to be trying to trick them and then get their stuff and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But at that point, it was just like, who are you? Go away. So that was cool. They asked about the Hero's Light. I forgot. I forgot that TJ made that up. I thought it was Carlos. Carlos, I love DMs that like let your players do the thing and then it builds a more interesting world. And I really thought the Hero's Light was like, I remember when I auditioned for Power Word Fail, I had this whole idea for this orc character that Spunk and Ferric traveled around, and Spunk went to some village and say something, talked about the Hero's Light. And I was like, okay, this orc character is like the grandson, because we don't know how old Ferric and Spunk is, I don't think. Because anyway, but this orc is like the son of this guy, and he's like taught him how to be a true hero, be the hero's like, gotta look like somebody who can be presentable. And like, it's one of the cool like little features he had is like he files down his tusks so he can look less scary. But I was gonna have him like show up and be like, I'm looking for Spunk, finds out Spunk's dead. Adalia is the new Hero's Light, so he's like Adalia's retainer. Whatever Adalia needs, that's like, hey, I'm here to help the Hero's Light. But anyway, I say all that to say, like, that's crazy when, like, you let your players do something that you don't have written, and then it incorporates into the story so well that, you know, it's like, oh, this was always a part of the DM's plan. Like, no, this is all the players. I just riffed off them. So that was pretty cool, because I thought the Hero's Light was something that Carlos wrote, but it's something that TJ just made up and they went with it. And that was like one of the biggest questions in this campaign was how the Hero's Light was gonna help everybody. Cody did have it as a contingency plan just in case things went kind of wrong, kind of like a one-time Phoenix down, like, but they didn't need it. They didn't need a lot of stuff. They I think after having so much failure, after having so much loss, they and then playing together for a while, their strategies became better. They became more like, again, I will say, you jump from easy squishy baby to gods in D&D so quickly, and it's somewhere in between that level 7 to level 10 route. Once you hit level 10, it's basically you got to start throwing dragons at people. Like, but yeah, I mean, it was a fun ride. I'm not gonna reiterate everything I said in my last episode. This is supposed to be like a short little something. We're already at 10 minutes. But this was a fun ride. I loved it. It feels like Power Word Fail is over, which is fine. I got a couple of podcasts that are one-shot wonders, and I actually got to do some reviews on those too. But this was 64 / cut some episodes in half episodes of pure fun. I loved every moment of this. It was a good ride. It was a really good ride. The whole show, I have recommended Power Word Fail to a lot of people. And I will continue to do so. It has been a really, really big part of my life. You have affected. If you guys know, if you guys want to think like, hey, this is just a podcast, we're just playing D&D, you can always say that one guy, that one guy who kept making videos about our show, who just wanted to talk about the show, that one guy, we affected his life positively. So, hey, who knows for the last time or not? As always, thanks for tuning in to Miles TV. You are loved, you matter, and you're important. Thank you so much. Bye.